Hello everyone and welcome to the class of economics. So dear students, as you all know that we have already started chapter 2nd and 2 videos we have completed. Now this is chapter 2nd part 3 third video. Now this chapter is actually about national income accounting, okay. So there will be so many numericals in this particular chapter which we are going to solve it. Now before starting we must just go with the introduction. So this is a numerical based chapter to calculate national income by different methods. It can be income method, it can be value added method, it can be expenditure methods, and there are certain steps involved in all these 3 methods to calculate national income. Numerically if we see, to determine private income, personal income and all these there are certain differences. That means we need to understand the meaning of net and gross for this. Now starting with gross and net, when we say gross, actually gross means value of product including depreciation. That means it actually involves the value of the goods, and with that it also includes the depreciation charges, whereas net means the value of product excluding depreciation. That means in net we are going to deduct depreciation charges, whereas in gross we are going to add or include the depreciation charges. The difference between these two terms will be called as depreciation. That is, gross minus net can be called as a depreciation. So when depreciation is the expected decrease in the value of fixed capital, that means what is actually depreciation? It is just the decrease or reduction in the expected value of the goods or product or any kind of capital assets due to its daily use, due to its general use. That means just like any vehicle or any electronic goods or any kind of goods which you are purchasing from the market, when you are using it on daily basis, the value of that particular goods will be going to decrease only. So whenever you try to resell it, you will not get the same exact value, okay. The reduction will be there of those values. It is the result of production process. Gross can be that means the formula can be net plus depreciation. That means if you wanted to calculate gross value of any goods, then it is net value plus the depreciation charges, because in gross we add depreciation charges, whereas for net it is gross minus depreciation. That is, for calculating net value of any goods or commodities, we are going to deduct depreciation from the gross value. There can be other names of depreciation. It can be consumption of fixed capital. That means actually we are going to consume the fixed asset or capital, okay. Then capital consumption allowances or current replacement cost. These can be other names. Now national income and domestic income, this is also one of the concept which we are going to study for calculating national income. When we say national income and domestic income, of course national income is a wider term which includes many things, whereas domestic income, it is actually just within the geographical boundaries of a nation. So national income refers to net money value of all the final goods and services produced by the normal resident of country. Now if you could remember, normal resident of our country we have discussed in the previous videos. So during an accounting year, that means during one financial accounting year, whatever net money value of all the final goods and services which are produced in a nation, final production which is done of all goods and services in a particular nation in one financial accounting year by all the normal resident of the country, that will be considered as a national income, or that will be included in national income. Whereas domestic income refers to total factor incomes earned by the factor of production in terms of rent, wages, interest and profit within the domestic territory of a country during one financial accounting year. That means whatever total factor income which is earned by all factors of production within the domestic borders of a nation can be considered or can be included in domestic income. The difference between these two income can be considered as net factor income from abroad, which is included in national income. That is, net factor income which is coming from abroad can be included in national income. Now here Y stands for income, okay. So, and excluded from domestic income. That means whatever earning which we are getting from abroad will be included in national income, whereas it will be excluded in domestic income. Whereas net factor income from abroad is the difference between income earned by normal resident and from rest of the world, and similar payments made to non-residents within the domestic territory. That is, net factor income from abroad can be calculated as income earned by normal resident of the country from rest of the world, That is, it can be that somebody who is a normal resident of our country is staying away in other nations. So, income which is earned by residents from rest of the world minus payments to non-residents within domestic territory. So, difference between them can be considered as a net factor income from abroad, or we can say national income can be calculated as domestic income plus net factor income from abroad, and domestic income can be calculated as national income minus net factor income from abroad. Okay. Now, we can study this with the help of certain cases, and the case 1 is, suppose for example income paid to abroad is already given to you. That means whenever you will have certain numericals where you are going to calculate national income, so something will be given and some aspects will not be provided to you. So in case income paid to abroad is given, then to make net factor, that means to calculate net factor income from abroad, inverse the sign. That means you need to inverse the sign. For this, put income from abroad as 0. That means we are, because it is not given, we are putting it as 0. Okay. So example can be income paid to abroad is 100, net factor income from abroad if you are going to calculate. So income from abroad which is not given, whereas income paid to abroad which is given 100. So we considered income paid from abroad which is not given 0 minus income paid to abroad which is already given, that is 100. So we will get minus 100 and vice versa. That means accordingly you can calculate the national income. Now there is case 3rd also. If income from abroad and income paid to abroad both are given, that means in case if both the things are given, to calculate net factor income from abroad, you need to deduct income from abroad minus income paid to abroad, then NFIA is the difference between them. Now income from abroad which is given, that is 100, income paid to abroad which is given as 120. Now here in this case both the things are provided to you. So to calculate net factor income from abroad, income from abroad minus, that means you will deduct it from income paid to abroad, and accordingly the value which is given, it is 100 minus 120 and you will get minus 20. That means the result was negative. Now there is case 4th, net factor income to abroad be given, then to make net factor income from abroad, inverse the sign. That means, say for example net factor income paid to abroad is equal to income paid to income from abroad. Okay. Now example can be net factor income to abroad, that is it is 100 which is already given, net factor income paid to abroad which is given. In this, if NFPA, that is net factor income paid to abroad, if it is positive, which means that income to abroad, that is income paid to abroad, is greater than income which we receive from abroad, which makes, like here it is given, net factor income from abroad which is already given as minus 100. Say for example it is in negative. Net factor income to abroad which is given as minus 100. In this, net factor income which is paid to abroad is negative, which means that income paid to abroad is less than income which we receive from abroad. Again this is a case of positive, it is a positive case. Now case 2nd which we have missed, that is income from abroad is given. Say for example, now income paid to abroad which is not given. For this purpose, from abroad it is 100, and if we are going to calculate the net factor income from abroad, we need to deduct income from abroad minus income paid to abroad, and this is the case and you will get 100. That means in case the net factor income from abroad, when we are going to calculate, it can have a positive result and it can have a negative result as well. Now this was all the video about. So please students, again I request, go on and keep on learning, and please see all the videos to understand the concept well, and we will meet again in the next video. Till then, thank you, goodbye.